This evening, I want to take our time to address something that has been widespread around the world. An act of lust, an act of greed that is not quite okay with me, and that is not quite okay with you. Today, I'm teaching on a topic I titled, When Lust Speaks. Come, look around the world. What do you see? From our greedy politicians to our greedy citizens. You see lust all around. We now even think that lust is now a lifestyle. The rate of rape around the world is alarming. It's increasing every day by day. And yet we think it's cool. Yes, I understand that there are initiatives put on ground to make sure that these perpetrators are brought to book and to make or to raise more public awareness. But more, we need to speak more on these matters. Now, what is sanity? For you to be sane, you need to be sound-minded. You need to be properly calculated. You need to know what you want and how, or you need to know the balance of good and bad and choose good always. The ability to think and behave in a normal way and rational manner. Now, let me take a little statistics now. 81% of women and 43% of men reported having some experience of sexual harassment around the world in their lifetime. And at the age of 11 to 17, they experienced this sexual harassment. Imagine someone at the age of 11 experiencing sexual harassment. How do you think the teenage age of the person and the adulthood of that person will be? He will be, or he, she or he will be broken. So is that what we want in our nations? Is that what we want to see evident in our nations? I'm not even talking about that alone. Loss is quite vast. What about embezzlement? Someone embezzling 100 millions of naira. A money that is meant for public awareness, public aid. Someone will just embezzle it and plunge everybody into a state of total confusion. What about that? I'm not talking about cybercrime. I'm not even talking about, what was it again? Money laundering. Oil dealings, illegal oil dealings, and whatsoever we have around the world. If you notice, these cases are all soaring high every day. Cyber crimes is high. Money laundering, theft is high. Why? Because the people's mind has been corrupted. And what leads to this corruption is the ability to want more. But first, I want to also dive into the case or the origin of lust. Don't think lust just came or you're just seeing it increase. No, it will ever increase if we don't do anything about it. And lust started long time, even before the civilization of man. Like, let me dive into the Bible. In the Garden of Eden, God said, do not touch this. But man was so naive. Man needed more power. He needed to be like God. Why would someone want to be more than his creator? You notice this is the reason why man ate the fruit. And in doing so, man lost after the power to become God. And in doing so, man lost the garden. So lust has been here long before us. Lust has been here long before us. So we need to think about these things. We need to be strategic on how we address the cases of lust. Now, let's quickly look at the consequences of lust. Sexual immorality. I know when someone hears about lust, the thing lust is all about sexual immorality or sexual sin or extreme sexual gratification. No, lust goes beyond that. Lust is also jealousy, outbursts of anger, selfish ambitions and divisions, envy, drunkenness. Is vast. But first, there are three types of lust, which is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. When lust comes in question is when you desire to have more. When your patience has been broken, when what you stand for has gone, you want more. Now, let's talk about the ways to control lust. First, self-control. Now, what is self-control? Self-control is the ability to say no to lust. The ability to regulate one's emotion, thought, and behavior in one's face of temptation and impulses. When you come to understand that you need self-control in your life, you understand that there is a lot that will happen in your life. You won't be greedy. You won't want to go the other way to get whatever you want to get. You will be patient and work it out. And know that there's a law called the laws of process. You will be so eager to work towards the laws of process and gain whatever you want, instead of diving into whatever you think is right and is wrong. So, what causes lack of self-control now? Being the subject of physical, sexual, and emotional abuse and neglect. Existing mental illness, family history of mental illness, personal or family history of substance abuse and addiction. Now, let me tell you a story, a quick story. There is a man I read on the news. He wanted to help a young lady, probably secure a job. And instead of this man doing it wholeheartedly, expecting nothing in return, this young man subjected the lady to sexual harassment. He made sure he slept with the lady. And at the end, this man ended up infecting this lady with HIV. Now, how do you want such lady to see life? You've automatically killed the self-esteem of that lady. So please, we should start thinking outside the box. Now, first of all, types of self-control: physical movement, emotional concentration, impulses. And what are the three parts of self-control? This is monitoring, involving keeping tracks of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Standards and guidelines that steers towards your desired response. Strength refers to the energy we need to control our impulses. We need to be strategic this year. Without you understanding what causes something, you can't understand how to solve these problems. In all, let me summarize with this and quickly bring it to a close. Greed, ability to want more, is what leads to more lust. I don't know who you are, wherever you are listening to me. If you have been perpetrating this act, why will you take advantage of someone to help the person? It makes no sense. If abusing somebody just because they desire something, and it's within your context, it's within your power to deliver such things, and then you abuse and rape their rights, you're a weak man, you're a weak woman. We must think above our erections. We must try to sustain peace. We must try to sustain the human minds. Lust will only take us, will only take us nowhere. Simple ways to improve your self-discipline. Put your goals where you can see them every day. If it's to write it on a wall, write it on a wall. What you see, what you speak, reshaping your future. Writing a goal down makes it easy for you to read. It makes it easy for you to follow. It makes it easy for you to keep to the routine. Remind yourself why you started. This is not the year to shoot sporadically without an aim. This is the time to checkmate our corrupt officials, to checkmate those abusing and raping our rights. This is the time to checkmate all this stuff. And we're going to do it this year. I guess I'll end here tonight. Let us stand against rape. If you see anyone that rapes someone, please report to the authorities. If you don't know who to report, come to the Glass Congress. We have a series of NGOs that is against this stuff that are well connected to us. We can even handle the cases and report to the proper authorities. We'll follow it up to the latter. It's time we cut these nonsenses out of our lives. And mind you, if you cannot control your erection, it's better you disease from the surface of the earth. Because there's no difference between you, a murderer, and someone who rapes women, who rapes young boys, who abuse the human mind, who abuse the human life. Please, let's speak out. There's a lot of people passing through these things that we don't know. It's time to speak out. I guess I'll end here this evening. Have a good evening. Thank you.